Today I'm going to assemble my benchtop drill press. So I'm using a box cutter, obviously, and going to unbox this drill press for you. This is a Central Machinery 13-inch, 16-speed benchtop drill press. I bought it from Harbor Freight. The retail price is $279.99, but discount coupons from Harbor Freight are easy to come by. If you'll subscribe on their website, they'll email you coupons all the time. Typically, when you buy a new machine, all the metal parts are going to come with some sort of light coating of oil to prevent surface rust. Now it's time to bolt the upright tube to the base. There are 4 metric bolts and lock washers that need to be installed and screwed into place. They each have a 17mm head on them. Make sure you do not tighten any of the bolts down until you get all 4 of them started. I'll be able to put a final tightening on these bolts once I have the drill press bolted down to the stand. Once I had bolted the vertical tube to the base, I put the base on my workbench. Then I could reach all the parts easier. I put the rack inside of the collar that's going to go up and down on the vertical tube. And then I tested it to make sure that the gears were going to be able to engage and turn as they're supposed to. After that, I put the collar on the top of the rack to hold it in place. This rack floats and is allowed to rotate around the tube as you loosen it, and you can adjust the angle of the table that way. The rack is held in place by the ring at the top and the ring at the bottom. Then I tighten the table height adjustment and put the table in place. And then, because the table is able to rotate, there is also a spot there to tighten that up to stop it from rotating as well. Then comes a difficult part. You have to be able to lift this head unit and put it on top of that vertical pole. It could be easier to put the head unit on top of the pole if the drill press was on the floor. But then, however, you're going to have to lift the whole drill press up to get it up on the workbench. The drill press weighs 97 pounds, and most of that weight is going to be on the top of it. Now came time to thread the handles into the quill control. so that you can raise and lower the quill while you're drilling with it. You have to make sure that you're not cross-threading these handles, because that is an aluminum center section there, and those threads would be very easy to cross-thread. So you need to take your time and thread these in correctly. Now I'm installing the knob on the pulley cover on the top of the drill press. There's just one screw to screw into the knob. Then it came time to install the chuck. The drill chuck sits on the tapered end of the quill. You need to wipe the tapered end of the quill off, make sure it's clean, and make sure the inside of the drill chuck is clean, and push them together. Don't forget to tighten the two Allen bolts that keeps the head tight onto the vertical column. Now I'm demonstrating how to adjust the speeds. You adjust the speeds by raising and lowering the belts. In order to do that, there is a lock on the motor and then a handle to adjust the belt tension. So you release the lock and you release the tension on the belt, and you can adjust the belts up and down to gain speed or reduce the speed. This chart tells you all the different RPM and belt combinations that are available with this machine. The speed range on this drill press is 220 RPMs to 3,600 RPMs. And this is 16 different speeds. The distance that the quill can travel up and down is 3 1/8 inch. It's called the stroke. The motor in it is rated at 3/4 of a horsepower. This drill press has a 13-inch swing. That means that from the upright arm to the point of the drill tip is 6.5 inches. So if you drill to the center of a round object, the largest round object that you could drill the center of would be a 13-inch diameter. Bench top drill press, and I hope that it serves me well for many years to come. Thanks for watching. Talk to you soon, YouTube.